I never like these things. I spent 2 years standing right on this very podium talking to students about basic comms, security, voice procedures, sometimes their personal business, in general terms, of course, not out in the open. This was not a confessional. I did get an opportunity to go and see the students, at least some of them, not all of them. Looking at some of their faces now, I wish I didn't see them all. A few nights back, they had a party, and I didn't want to make it stiff for them, so I just hung around for about 20 minutes or so as not to get people nervous. And it's interesting to get to meet people, no matter what you do in the Coast Guard. A lot of these people you're going to run into again, as the captain was saying, and it's very true. I met for the first time this morning a gentleman that I was in school with here, Chief Osborne. We went to school together here. And he got rephased. What can I say? He's in the back, but I don't mind saying it because he's back there, and when we get outside, he'll probably slap me around a little bit. That's okay. Yeah. The thing of it is, one thing I wanted to say was that we spend a lot of time, I think, in our lives doing, and I do it myself very much. I'm human just like everybody else. I heard a little story on TV the other day, and I'll share it with you. You don't have to give me a complimentary laugh, but it is kind of germane to some of the things that we do in our lives. And I heard this on Johnny Carson, so it's clean enough, sir. And not the late night one either. Johnny Carson was relating to this. If you've heard this before, please don't preempt me, okay? He was talking about this gentleman who lived next door to him. He's a director, and he's got this big dog. And he goes out there one morning, and the dog's not there. The dog has gone somewhere, but nobody knows where the dog has gone. So he goes out, and he's looking for this dog, and he's trying to find it, and it's not to be found. His concern was that the guy next door to the director, he had a rabbit. And the rabbit had been with the family for about 7 or 8 years, and it was like a regular pet. I mean, they had a little area they could let the dog out in, or not the dog, but let the rabbit out in a little fenced-in area so that he could be free, but he also had a cage. They put him in there at night. So he was concerned, of course, about this big dog and this free rabbit over there, and he got a little concerned. So he went throughout the neighborhood looking for the dog, couldn't find it, decided to come back after about an hour. The dog wasn't back, so he was doing the yard work out there, and in the process of doing the yard work, the dog shows up, and of course they had the rabbit in his mouth, and the guy was really concerned. He knew what it meant to the family, so he didn't want to confront the guy next door, so what does he do? He waits until that night, and he sneaks over there, and he sticks his rabbit back in the cage. Next morning, this director goes out to get his newspaper, and he sees the neighbor with the rabbit. He's out there too, picking up his paper, and he says, "Hey, good morning," and this guy is really like kind of despondent, you know, and he says, "Well, good morning." He says, "I guess you heard what happened." And the neighbor says, "No, what happened?" He says, "Well," he says, our rabbit died." And the director says, "Is that right?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "But you know, the thing this guy's really concerned is, we buried him the other day and he's back in the cage this morning." Now, what that has to do with all of this is,
Alan has done extremely well during the school. It's our pleasure to present you with this certificate. As a past instructor here, he's very comfortable being up on the podium. He knows what these things are for. They're either to hide or to get away from. So I'm going to lean on it and I'm compromising it. Welcome to the visitors to Radioman School. Thank you for coming down here. I know it adds immeasurably to the ceremony for the students. They're eager to get out of here, but they also are eager to be proud of their loved ones. I've had an opportunity to talk to these students throughout the last 4 or 5 or 6 months of instruction. So they've heard a lot of what I had to say. And so I'm not going to say a lot this morning other than to reaffirm some of the things that I've told them in the past so that you can also hear a little bit of what they've been told.
All right. Attention to orders. Together, County Leader will now present the graduation certificates. Rating third class, Joel Albright. Arm 3 Albright is awarded to Coast Guard Cutter Confidence, home port at Patrick Air Force Base, Florida. Rating third class, Janet Allen. Arm 3 Allen is awarded to Coast Guard Map at Miami, Florida. Rating third class, Leslie Lucchini. Arm 3 Lucchini is awarded to Coast Guard Communication Station, Guam. Seaman Raven Larry Forrest. Seaman Raven Forrest is awarded to Coast Guard Air Station, Miami, Florida. Seaman Raven Christopher Kensel. Seaman Raven Kensel is awarded to Coast Guard Cutter Attendant, port at Key West, Florida. Raven third class Eric May. Arm 3 May is ordered to Coast Guard Marine Safety Office in Valdez, Alaska. Rating third class Audra McMakin. Arm 3 McMakin is ordered to Coast Guard Communication Station, Miami, Florida. Seaman Raymond Thomas Merker. Seaman Raymond Merker is ordered to Coast Guard Communication, Guam. Rating third class Kimberlyn Norman. Arm 3 Norman is ordered to Coast Guard Communication Area Master Station, Pacific, East San Francisco, California. Seaman Raymond William Place. SNR Place is ordered to Coast Guard Communication Area Master Station, Atlantic, Chesapeake. Raymond third class Daryl Richard. Arm 3 Richard is ordered to Coast Guard Cutter Jarvis, Honolulu, Hawaii. Raymond third class Michael Ronald. Arm 3 Ronald is ordered to Coast Guard Group Office, Baltimore, Maryland. Seaman Raymond Salvador Salas. SNR Solis is ordered to Coast Guard Group Office, Ketchikan, Alaska. Seaman Raymond Matthew. Raymond third class Michael Sutton. Arm 3 Sutton is ordered to Coast Guard Cutter Northland, home port in Portsmouth, Virginia. Rated third class James Tyndall. Arm 3 Tyndall is ordered to Coast Guard Cutter Dependable, home port in Panama City, Florida. Rated third class Dante Turner. Arm 3 Turner is ordered to Coast Guard Group Office in Mauritius, New York. Seaman Apprentice Raymond third Tiffany Wisman. SNR Wisman is ordered to Coast Guard Cutter Stores, home port in Kodiak, Alaska. Rating class 490, attention. About face. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with pleasure I present you rating class 490. About face. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the benediction. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the graduation ceremony for class 490. Provided a copy of the case of class.
Yeah, we told her all about you. It's what I kept telling you was fast.
Just slide it under my door, okay? If they turn out.
That was in Ned.
Not, I'll call you.
Whenever I can
Not, you
eat
know my
it,
address.
also.
Yeah, I know where
I
you're
see
going.
like milk or something with it, you know, this stuff. You were trying to be so perfect when you made that.
I know. I'll laugh out of it. I messed up so bad. Like, oh well, I'm not worried about it.
Probably.
You guys, you know, your shoes are also shiny. It's just like killing me.
Your face shine.
Or brown. Thank you.
Well, we buy these guys.
But for your tape.
What's this a map of? Woods Hole, what's that?
Woods Hole, Massachusetts.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the Institute. That's for
And
doctors.
what's this one?
What
Oh,
institute?
Boston Harbor.
Which one's Woods Hole?
Right there.
That's, you know, the guy who found the Titanic in Bismarck? They're out of Woods Hole.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right here. This is called the Model 40, and this is probably what I'll be using on my ship.
What's a whip?
It's a whip antenna. It's just a
Oh,
straight up and down antenna, yeah. A mini loop kind of goes like this. Goes up, and then it goes like that.
and the fan? Is it just a...
Fan is just like, it looks like a satellite, but it's, you know, it's got like, it's curved kind of.
And what's the dummy look?
Well, this has to do with We parasitic array right there.
There's the whip.
Okay, that's the whip, and that's the long wire. See this thing here that has the wire attached to it? That's a long wire. That's an antenna.
It is a long
Yeah,
wire.
and we can work traffic from San Francisco right from here.
Is that just a light, spotlight?
It's just a light.
What's that? A faucet?
That is sprinkler. No.
That's Coast Guard's cutter's name.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, and then in here, you got Comstate Boston, where I worked.
You're on video, so you can't be sick. Chris is showing us Coast Guard stuff. Dad said, "Hi, Mom. How you doing?" Whoa, different tone. What are you saying?
Like I'll say, hi Joni, how's it going?
It takes a long time to say that.
No, I didn't say it all. I didn't say it all. Give you an idea. You can change the pitch on this thing.
Cherry mahogany preserved for life. And I paid 40 bucks. 40 bucks for cherry mahogany.
Preserved for life diploma.
Well, yeah, and this is like so long ago, and I don't know what's good.
Yeah, I would check into that.